Well, it's been a topsy-turvy couple of weeks, but we're back. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to make your 8-year-old Caravan look like brand new. Hi everyone. This feels like the perfect time to do this job. I need to occupy my mind. It's been a topsy-turvy week, as you know. Well, you will do if you're a regular or if you follow us on our socials. So, I'm going to get to work on giving this Caravan a good valet inside and out. And that means getting the cover off first. Now, getting the cover off is a lot quicker than putting it on. So I've undone the straps, got the 4 corners to unzip, and we'll whip the cover off. Catch you in a second. The cover is off. I'll give you a close-up. What I want to do is I want to work really on the roof first, because that's going to be the dirtiest part of the Caravan. So the job today, and I will do this probably in stages over a couple of days. First job, get the roof really nice and clean. Make sure the rest of the Caravan is then washed and sort of dried and chamoised. And then probably starting tomorrow, because the weather's supposed to be quite good tomorrow as well, I can then come out and start to get into some of the detail. So I'm just up the ladder having a look on the roof, and first impressions, it looks fairly good, all things considered. It's been here through the winter, mostly covered up, but not all the time. But then of course when you start to look up close at areas like this, then you notice a bit of grime getting into the roof, and what this just really needs is a good wash. Look down here where the aerial is, and particularly underneath. I don't know if you can see under the aerial. Maybe on this side. Can you see how green it is? Just under the solar panel. In the past I've taken the solar panel off to give it a good clean, but I did that just last year, so I might not take it off. I'll just see when I get close up to it. And underneath the sun canopy, that's got to be lifted up because there's a lot of debris got under there, mainly from this conifer tree here, all the little bits of twigs and bits of leaves. And then you get into the seals here. Can you see how green they are? I mean, I've seen a lot worse than this, don't get me wrong. And the same here. So my job over the next day or two is to get into this finite detail. I want to wash the van first, get the top dirt off, and then start to get into the detail. And I've got a number of products that will help me do that. So, start by giving this roof a wash. quick look on top. So a good start. I'm very happy with the top. This is day 2, the sun's shining now. I thought I'd start here because although the sun is shining, it's freezing. It's really cold. So on the back, right, the back is clean because it's all just been washed, so it looks lovely, but it ain't got a shine to it particularly. It's quite a dull finish, and can you see, hopefully the camera might just pick up here, we've got like black lines running up. Can you see some black lines there? Some more black lines. You might not pick them up on the camera, but all down here, yeah, and all this is all black lines. Same over here. They're faint, but all across here, running up, we've got all these black lines. So what I want to do is I think I'm going to try some silky product on the back here, and I'll show you what it is, and let's see if we can get that buffed up nice and shiny. The other job that I want to do, I've told you before, is although it don't look too bad here, in places some of the seals are looking a bit black. Let me just see if I can show you. I think particularly around the front, yeah. So these little bits that you can see in here. Now with a wash and just a hard brush, I got a lot of the dirt out, but what I really want to try and get is, can you see here, it's like a mould that gets into this sort of white rubber, and I've got some bathroom mould remover which I've tried once before and it did quite a good job. So we're going to get into those. So again, don't look too bad here, these seals, but I might just try and whiten them up a bit. But what I want to get into, yeah, this is the area where I've done it before. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, it was a year ago, but when you get to bits that I didn't really work on, so we get down, let's have a look, yeah, down here, can you see these sort of the black bits that you get, the little mould, bits of mould. This side I remember doing, can you see how black it is in here, where the sort of, what's it called, Secoflex has gone black. See if we can try and get that whitened up a little bit. And I think in general, the van is very clean, just needs a bit of a shine up, and then we'll get the windows looking good. Did a video on this, I've got a brilliant product for that, which I'll show you in a little while. Right, let's go and get started on the back. So there are 3 products I'm going to use today. First one, on the back here, and on the front actually, which is also fiberglass, we've got this silky cream cleaner. A lot of you will be familiar with this. A product that's been around a long time, great for caravans, boats and any sort of PVC materials. Really brings a shine on. We'll see though. The second one is the pink stuff, really good stuff apparently, but we've never used it, and the idea of this is to get that water in that sort of flap from yellow back to a white colour. Let's see if that does what they say it does. And a product I know to work really well for the windows is the old Vuplex, and Vuplex will not just shine up the sort of plastic perspex windows on the Caravan, it sort of disguises the scratches. You can't get rid of scratches, but it certainly disguises them and makes them shine. So we'll get on with that. Now, time permitting, I'll see how much I can do today and how much strength I've got. Let's get cracking on this. Now, to start off with, need a couple of cloths. One which we're going to apply the silky with needs to be damp when we put it on, and then we rinse it off, and then we buff it up with a dry cloth. So we'll do that first. I think I could shine that up a bit more yet. What do you think? Is it shiny enough? I mean, it's not bad, but maybe I'm just too particular. So let's just break the seal on this. Now we have. Right, okay. We're in. Thank goodness. So that's what it looks like. It is pink. So I'm putting my wet cloth back in the water. And just a reminder on the instructions here. It's a mild abrasive. So rub gently before rinsing off with water. So let's just put a little bit on. The texture is very similar to the silky actually. So we won't rub this too hard. But I'm purposely just doing this one half. See if you can see the difference between one side and the other. Right, I'll give it a little rinse for now. Let me just bring you in close and see if you can see. Can you see where it's white on the right and still yellow on the left? So 5 minutes working on that really. Taking it easy at first in case I was going to do any damage, but actually no damage, you can press a little bit harder I found. So I'm going to do the whole thing now and I'll come back, we'll show you a before and after. And here we are now a couple of minutes later and yeah, choppers are good and that's nice and white. It looks much more white like the rest of the Caravan body and the locker door there, rather than that sort of creamy, almost nicotine yellow colour that you used to get in the pubs back in the day. Can you see down this seal here at the back? I'll just run you down here. It's a bit black in places, but down here you might be able to just notice that actually the Sikaflex, there's a gap in it and there's moisture, a little bit of moisture in there. So I'm going to sort of take this Sikaflex out, just scrape that out and just put in a new run. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm quite pleased with how that's come up. I've scraped out old Sikaflex from here and we've got a little bit of a gap here. Now there was just a little bit of moisture coming out, and if you look on the floor here you'll be able to see probably all the little bits that I've scraped out of there. That's taken me about 5 minutes to do that. That's all. So what I'm going to do now is just give it a little clean up the edges with a bit of white spirit, so we've got a clean surface, and that dries really quick. So just to rub up and down this joint there with a bit of white spirit. Up here. What I've done in the past, I've used like a Ronseal grout cleaner when these have gone black, and that sort of just do the job for about a season, but then that starts to get all messy and rubbish again. So we'll do this. Like I said, I've never done it before. It's just that when I put it around the locker down here, I'm very pleased with the finish, and it doesn't take, as I say, 5 minutes cleaning out with a little knife, a little like a putty knife, you know, modeller's knife or something like that. Just clearing out the old Sikaflex, 5 minutes. 2 minute job, just put a bit of white spirit up, and then we'll put the Sikaflex in. hopefully you can see down the side now, look, from the light all the way down here, we've got a nice clean white new bit of Sikaflex that runs all the way down, and it's nice and clean, and it's also covered in the cracks, which was the main job. A couple of little cracks there, so that's done those nice. Very pleased with that. I'm going to do the other side now. So same down here, down this seal here now, look, got lovely bright sunshine on here, which is good, but that's all nice and white. So I've done that. There's the old Sikaflex on the floor that I've scraped out with a knife. Now, one thing I've learnt by accident here, but this is quite interesting, is, can you see this sort of rubber bit that runs in the seal here? That gets black and hard to clean up. Bit of white spirit I've put on, and look here, can you see a difference here? It's very bright and sunny, isn't it? Let me see. Hopefully you can pick up. I've just rubbed a bit of that with the white spirit there. That's the bit I've done, nice and white. And then down here, that I haven't done, it's quite black. So I'm going to run around all the seals with a cloth and a bit of white spirit on and just get those rubber bits looking white. Come up really well. All the black's gone, all the little cracks are filled in, nice white finish. And you can see where I've not been at the top under the light there, how black that is. That's what it was, and that's what we've got now. And I've done the same around this locker as well. So it's starting to look good. It's not taken very long. I mean, I've done both sides in about 20 minutes, half an hour max, and I'm drinking tea. So literally 10-15 minutes later, and now look at this side of the van. A lovely white seal of Sikaflex all the way to the top there. And we've still got to shine this up, but we'll do that very soon. So yeah, so nice and white, and these seals at the front. Now you could, it's like painting a fourth row bridge, because once you start a job like this, you keep seeing all the other bits. Well, maybe another time I'll continue and do all the bits on the van, but currently I don't really have time. But the white spirits sort of bringing these seals up okay on the side. I'm just going to tackle this little bit under the reflector here, because there's a bit of a crack there. It's not a crack, it's where the Sikaflex has dried out, look. So I'll just do that bit, because that'll take me a second. Well, less than 10 minutes anyway. Old Sikaflex has been scraped out, white spirit on here to clean these white bits up, and then a new bit of Sikaflex has gone in, and that's much better. So these are the little detail jobs, folks. Okay, so it's time now to apply some dry and shine. The Caravan's already been washed and it's clean, but this is the detailing stuff from Silky, and this will bring a shine back into places where we've still got a little bit of maybe a bit of dirt, or where it's just got some film where the water's dry. So we're going to clean it up now. If I'm lucky, I'm just going to get done before it starts raining. And this is the next stuff, Vuplex. I've done a whole video on this, and I'll put a link below. This gets your Caravan windows up sparkling clean, but not only that, it disguises all those airline scratches. Doesn't get rid of scratches, but it does disguise them. So perhaps 2 or 3 times a year, this is worth using, Vuplex. Not only is there a link to the video below, but also a link to our Amazon shop where you can pick this up. It's about 15 quid for a bottle. I've had this now for over a year, maybe 18 months, and it's still about half full. So that gives you an idea. You just spray it on. A bit windy, so that's a shame. Spray it on your window. Clean cloth, microfiber, and give it a wipe straight away. Rub it into the glass, or the perspex, should I say, like this. So the window's completely covered. And then get your extra dry microfiber cloth, and then just buff this up, and these windows, trust me when I tell you, they look like new. They really shine, and all the little airline scratches that you could see, particularly when the sun's out, they disappear. So I'm going to go around and do the whole caravan with this now, and I'll show you the results when I've done. And the windows have now got an absolute amazing shine on them, as I hope you can tell from this bit of video. So I've done all the windows on the van, front, back, well, we ain't got any on the back actually, on the sides, toilet windows, these side windows in the lounge here, and the door window as well, and they're all shining up lovely, look really good. So have a look at the video that I did on this product. It's absolutely superb. What I'm going to do now, folks, is something I've not really done properly ever. When I wash the van, I normally just give the hitch a wash and a wipe as well, but I'm going to put a bit of back to black on this, and I'm also going to blacken the tyres as well. So the product I'm using here is the Simmons back to black wet look tyre and trim, sort of thing I normally use on the car, to be honest. So we'll give that a little go. Got to make sure that this is clean, which it has been clean, and it is dry, and then you just spray the product on like this all over the hitch, and I'll do here as well. I'm not sure about this rubber, that might bring it up because it is filthy there on the dampener, and then we'll rub that in. And that is bringing it up nice and black and shiny, which is what it's supposed to do. Now, if it's particularly bad, it says on the bottle that you can repeat this process more than once, 2 or 3 times if you need to. I think once is going to do this, to be honest. Just getting these bits here. These are particularly dirty, so I think the cloth will be, look how black the cloth is getting off that. But that's never been done properly other than a wash and a dry. So a bit of back to black on this bit should make that look a lot better. And then down the actual hitch itself, the Alco hitch. Even the handbrake handle, why not? Just wondering whether, although this is clean, I might just try a bit on here, see how it does. Yeah, let's give it a whirl. It's not quite black, it's more grey than black. And if that works nicely on there, which I think it's going to do, I can do this on the wheel arches as well. Maybe these handles. Yeah, put a nice shine on it actually. Get my dry cloth that I'm using to shine up with. Oh, yeah, it's quite nice. So another job that I rarely if ever do is get underneath the caravan and give this motor mover a clean. It gets the old brush on it, you know, when I'm going around generally washing the van, but I don't really do much more than that. So I'm going to get that a clean, going to give the alloys a clean. My rusty nuts, okay, they're on order, they won't be here by the time I finish this video, but I've got some shiny covers to go over them, but I will be replacing these nuts, and then I'm going to just give the alloy a clean, and then I'm going to do that trim with the back to black around here, and I'm going to back to black the tyres on both sides as well, and I think that's going to be me calling it a day. Well, I've got the motor mover quite clean actually. Use some of that pink stuff just on the plastic, the white and the grey. Just going to do a bit of the back to black on this trim here and around the tyres. The tyres are pretty clean, to be fair. Just gives it a little bit of a shine, a showroom finish. I'm quite pleased with that. You generally just let that dry in on the tyre, but I'm just going to give it I've got quite a bit of it on the cloth just to wipe round the tyre. And that whole area now, I'll just show you the motor mover closer up. Give it a wash first of all with the brush, get the dirt out of the actual cog there, most of it anyway. And then a bit of pink stuff on that white plastic cover that's on the cog motor and this grey bit underneath, and it's sort of just put a bit of a shine on it. It looks much tidier. So, need to address the rusty nut situation, and this is what we're going to do. I bought these. You can get these on my Amazon store. Okay, you get 20 of these for, I think it's about £8. Again, links below, and you can see what happens. They're available in 19mm or 17mm. I've got 19mm nuts on here, so the idea is that these are slot over the top. Let's see what they look like when they're on. Well, I'm sure you'll agree, without, because I've not taken the wheel lock off yet, without and with. These roof vents here, the skylights, they've got to come off and I give them a clean. I've done a video on that before, put it in the link below, but I won't be doing that until we get a few more weeks or months down the line. We've got snow apparently again next week. But the top of the roof is much cleaner than it was, but when I do another clean of the Caravan in general, I'll go back on this roof and I'll get these skylights off and give those a good going over. In terms of the rest of the Caravan, once you've washed it, as I have done, and then I've got into some of these detail jobs, the Sikaflex job, resealing these sides, very quick, very easy. It's not long at all. Just need one of these, I think you call that a putty knife, do you? Just to get in there and get all the old sticker flecks out of these seals, and then give it a clean down with some white spirit like you saw, get the new stuff in, and then any bits that you get on the side of the van, if you do a bit of white spirit on a cloth, gets that off. The silky cream cleaner on the back, it has done a good job, it's lovely and clean, so I probably need to give this a second coat at some point just to get a real deep shine on it. In terms of the windows, they've all been done with the Vuplex. Again, link to video down below, but lovely and shiny. The whole Caravan now is looking really more than clean. It's actually more than clean. The windows are lovely and shiny. Bit of back to black on this front hitch here as well. That's on. Sikaflexed and whitened up all these front bits, looking much better now. And then the final job that I've done is the wheels. So I've got a bit of back to black on the wheel arches here, just to give those a good clean up. You have the motor mover, it's first ever clean since I've had the Caravan, certainly deep clean like that, and that's come up really well. The pink stuff is excellent. It's as cheap as chips. I'll put it in the link below as well. But that's really brought up what was a yellow intake flap there for the water to a nice bright white colour, which is really good. There's more I can do, folks. I've done down here as well, as you can see. That's all been done. But there is more detailing to be done. So, like I said, it's like painting the Forth Road Bridge. And I suppose the learning to take away from it, this is probably the deepest clean that I've done for quite some time, certainly more than a year. And in terms of all these little jobs, getting all the black, getting the roof done, getting the green out, these doing more than once a year, that's for sure. Well, I suppose the next job is going to be inside, getting that all spruced up, ready to go. Look out for that one coming up in a video very soon. But in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this one. And don't forget, all the products that you've seen in the video you can find on our Amazon store. And I'll put a link in the description below. You'll pay the same price as everyone else, but we'll get a very small commission from them. And that all helps us along. If you're new around here and you're yet to subscribe to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to leave a comment. None of that costs you a penny, but it does help the channel to grow, and we would really appreciate it. So thanks for bearing with us. I think with a bit of luck and a fair wind, we're back to normal service from Thursday at 4:30. But in the meantime, hope you all have a great week, and we'll catch you soon. Bye for now.